afternoon, everyone, especially to you, Ma'am Padilio. Good afternoon. I am Javelin Ego Tipanto, and we are the Group 4. And we tackle about the classical viewpoint. There are three types of classical viewpoint: the scientific management, the administrative management, and also the bureaucratic management that will be discussed to my groupmates later. So, for today's video, I will discuss about the classical viewpoint and the meaning of the classical viewpoint. So, the meaning of the classical viewpoint is the classical management theory believes that employees are strongly motivated by their physical needs and monetary incentives. Organizations that implement this management style often incorporate regular opportunities for employees to be rewarded for their productivity with incentives. For the example of the classical viewpoint is the manufacturing industry. Why the classical viewpoint is important? The classical viewpoint is important because the essence of the classical viewpoint was that work activity was amenable to a rational approach, that through the application of scientific methods, time and motion studies, and job specialization, it was possible to boost productivity.
In addition, it is the view that management only social responsibility is to maximize profits. It also claims simply that all complex concepts have classical analysis, makes no claims as to the status of concepts as universal or as being mind-dependent or mind-independent entities. There are three theories of classical viewpoints that will be discussed in the next reporter.
Scientific management. What is scientific management? Scientific management, also often known as Taylorism, it is a management theory first advocated by Frederick Winslow Taylor. It uses scientific methods to analyze the most efficient production process in order to increase productivity. Frederick Winslow Taylor is also known as the father of scientific management. Born into a wealthy family in the U.S. in 1856, graduated from Stevin Institute Technology as a mechanical engineer in 1883. In 1991, Winslow Taylor published his work, The Principle of Scientific Management, in which he described how the application of the scientific method to the management workers greatly and could improve productivity. Scientific management methods called for optimizing the way the tasks were performed and simplifying the job enough so that workers could be trained to perform the specialized sequence of the motion in the one best way. Scientific management. Scientific management is a theory of management that analyzes and synthesizes workflow. Its main objective is improving economic efficiency, especially labor productivity. One of the earliest attempts to apply science to engineering of processes and to the management. Scientific management is sometimes known as Taylorism, after Frederick Winslow Taylor. Soldiering. Taylor observed the phenomenon of workers purposely operating well below their capacity. This is soldiering. He stated causes of soldiering. Number 1. Universal belief among workers that if they became more productive, only few of them would be needed. Jobs will be eliminated. Number 2. Incentive wage system encourage low productivity. They receive same wage regardless how much is produced. Number 3. Worker waste much of their efforts by relying on rule of thumb methods that rather than one optimal work method. Rule of thumb. It is a guideline that provides simplified advice regarding a particular subject. It is a general principle that gives practical instruction for accomplishing or approaching a certain task. Typically, rules of thumb develop as a result of practice and experience rather than from scientific research of theory. Technique of scientific management. Functional foremanship. Standardization and simplification of work, method study, differential piece rate system, fatigue study, time study, motion study. The advantage of scientific management: enhanced teamwork, cooperation between managers and workers, better planning and decision making, improve economic and working efficiency, increased opportunities for workers to acquire scientific training, reduce waste. Disadvantages: influences feeling of pressure among the workers, may demotivate workers. Managerial decision may involve strictness and stress for manager due to need for complete control over the work.
After years of various experiments to determine optimal work methods, Tyler proposed the following 4 principles of scientific management. First, replace rule of thumb work methods with methods based on a scientific study of the task. Second, scientifically select, train, and develop each worker rather than passively leaving them to train themselves. The third one is cooperate with the workers to ensure that the scientifically developed methods are being followed. The fourth one is divide work nearly equally between managers and workers so that the managers apply scientific management principles to planning the work and the workers actually perform the task. And those principles were implemented in many factories like Henry Ford in his automobile factories. It is to increase productivity by a factor of 3 or more, and even families began to perform their household tasks based on the results of time and motion studies. While scientific management principles improved productivity and had a substantial impact on industry, they also increased the monetary of work, the core job, dimension of skills variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback all were missing from the picture of scientific management.
Administrative management theory attempts to find a rational way to design an organization as a whole. What administrative theory of management? First, generalized by Henry Fayol in 1841-1925. He is born in France. He worked for a coal mining business. He also considered the father of the administrative management theory. He developed 14 administrative principles of management in 1988 and administration industrial et general in 1916. Administrative management theory is a contrast to the scientific approach to management, which posed that workers should lead to greater managerial efficiency.
What are the Fayol's 14 Principles of Management? Fayol's 14 Principles of Management provide specific guidance on the necessary organizational elements and demonstrate the administrative management approach. There are, first, division of labor. The division of labor with an organization allows for specialization. Individuals can become more proficient in the accomplish of limited set of activities, thus improving their outputs. 2. Authority. Manager must have the authority to issue commands, but with that authority comes the responsibility to ensure that the work gets done. 3. Discipline. Discipline, there must be a clear line authority. Subordinates must fully obey instruction from superior. Manager must have the ability to instill discipline through punishment. 4. Unity of command. There should be only one boss for whom a worker receives instruction. 5. Unity of
direction. Unity of direction. Each work group of department is worker under a singular plan that coordinates efforts. Work efforts should be guided by one supervisor. 6. Subordination of individual interest. The interests of individual are subordinate to the general interests of a group of department of company. 7. Remuneration. Compensation is used to incentivize worker performance. Remuneration can include both financial and non-financial forms of compensation. 8. Centralization. It is decision making. Should be either centralized, management make also decision, or decentralized. Employees also make decision depending upon the characteristic of the organization and worker competency. 9. Line of authority or scalar chain. There must be hierarchy of authority that place workers below manager in the reporting structure. The degree of authority is higher of each stage of the organizational hierarchy. That should be well understood throughout. 10. Order. There must be well-defined rules and standards for the work environment and work responsibility. A safe and orderly environment leads to great coordination. 11. Equity. The organization must be new based upon principle of fairness. Employees should be treated with a combination of kindliness and justice. 12. Stability of tenure. Organization needs to love turnover. There allows employees time to learn their job, develop skills, and acquire loyalty. 13. Initiative. Manager must promote initiative by allowing employees to create plans and carrying them out. 14. And the last principle of management, spirit de corps. Establishing sense of belonging with the organization create a sense of unity and morale. What are the Fayol's function of manager? Fayol's administrative management theory. The individual function of a manager may vary widely depending upon the types of manager and nature of manager responsibilities, such as planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. It is important to note that these categories are broad in nature. They represent the universal responsibilities of manager, regardless of task or industry-specific responsibilities that manager may face, such as government, non-profit, accounting, finance, marketing, and etc. The function of planning. Fayol defined managerial planning as forecasting future conditions, setting objectives, and developing means to attain objectives. Notice that the planning function is flexible in a nature of allow contingencies that arise in process. Organizing. Fayol defined organizing or structuring activities and organizing individuals with a firm. This includes recruiting, equipping, and training individuals. Commanding. According to Fayol, commanding as a managerial function concerns the direct supervision of employees and motivating their efforts toward a common objectives. Fayol recognized the need for manager to recognize and understand the behaviors of employees and to set an example for them. And the coordinating. Fayol identified coordination as identifying, arranging, and scheduling all activities carried out by subordinates. Their coordinates allows for the collective accomplishment of plans. And the last part is controlling. Controlling concerns the constant supervision of activities to identify accomplishment or goals. An adjective deviation for the identified plan allows a manager to take active action. Who are the major contributors to the administrative management theory? The administrative management theory is still very much integrated into our modern understanding of organization and management practice. Numerous theories have contributed to administrative management theory include James D. Moynihan in 1884 to 1957. Moynihan studied mechanical engineering and eventually became a key member of General Motors top management team. In 1931, he wrote Onward Industry. The book is considered by many scholars to be a significant contribution to administrative management theory. And the second contributors of administrative management theory is Lothar H. Golek in 1892 to 1993, considered the dean of public administration. And he applied administrative management theory principles to government.
Before we start with the bureaucratic management theory, let's have a little research as to why did Max Weber came up with this plan and what pushes him to develop this plan. Max Weber's contribution to the management. Maximilian Karl Emil Weber, also known as Max Weber, was born on April 21, 1864 at Germany and was a German sociologist. So he has a keen interest in industrial capitalism. So industrial capitalism is a type of economic system in which industry is controlled by private organizations and the main objective is to earn profit. He has a keen interest in industrial capitalism and was curious as to why did other countries succeed while others did not. So he went to the US and studied the nation's economy, and there he got the opportunity to witness capitalism in full flow. He observed that in the US, the capitalism was characterized by innovation and competition, while in the Germany, small groups of people with power were the rulers of the economy. And he didn't like that idea, and that is when the bureaucracy was developed. What is Max Weber's bureaucracy? According to Max Weber, bureaucracy is an organizational structure that is characterized by many rulers, standardized processes, procedures and requirements, number of desks, the meticulous division of labor and responsibility, clear hierarchies, and professional, almost impersonal interactions between employees. 6 principles of the bureaucracy. The first one is the task specialization. All business tasks must be divided among the employees. The basis for the division of tasks should be competencies and specialization. So the tasks are carried out smoothly and easily in this manner because the managers know who is working on exactly what. The accountability of each task and department is transparent because each employee is clearly aware of their responsibilities, and going beyond that responsibility is not allowed. The second one is the formal selection. Hiring and onboarding of employees are done exclusively according to the specialties and technical skills of the candidates. So the skills referred here is through education, training, and experience.
The third one is impersonal relationship. The relationship among employees and between managers and employees must be impersonal. The impersonal relationship are a prominent feature of Max Weber's bureaucracy. Employees are not allowed to interfere with the affairs of other employees, managers, and organization. Communication among the employees should involve emotion, personal sharing, and feelings. The decision-making process must only involve rationality instead of emotion. The fourth one is hierarchical layers of authority. The managerial structure is organized into hierarchical layers. In bureaucratic management, each layer of management has a team of employees under them. These managers are responsible for the performance of their team. These hierarchical positions in bureaucratic organizations are essentially the trademark and foundation of Max Weber's bureaucracy. In this hierarchy of authority, positions are ranked in order of precedence, and the highest position in the ladder generally has the highest authority in the organization. The bottom hierarchical layers are generally the positions that are supervised by higher layers. So the next one is rules and regulation. These rules and regulation must be followed without any fault. This ensures uniformity in the business and the staff members know what is expected of them. Strict rules also better coordination of employee performance and efforts. Administrative processes should also be clearly defined in the official rulebook or reports. When new rules are introduced in the organization, the senior management must be notified. They will then pass on the information to the respective departments. The last one is career orientation. The Weberian model of bureaucracy selects employees on the basis of technical skills, which helps optimize human capital. According to Max Weber, selecting candidates according to their competency and skills ensures that the right people are in the right job. Max Weber's management theory states that through the formation of a bureaucracy, people can build a career upon their expertise and competency. A bureaucracy offers lifetime employment and the right division of labor, lets employees improve their expertise in a given field.